Angie with Janine from Life is a Beach, and we've arrived in Heidelberg, like so far from Gauteng, and amazingly we found this really cool place called the Wild Pear Shack, and I'm totally enthralled by the fact that it really is a shack. So it's quite cool to be able to stay in one, and I'm going to introduce you. I'll let you introduce yourselves. Actually, it's probably easier. And tell me a little bit about yourselves. Introduce yourselves. Tell me about your journey.
Ah, fantastic. So my name is Wynand. I'm one of the co-owners of the Shack Life, or the Wild Pear Shack. This is Karolene, she's the other co-owner, and yeah, she's really the one running it, because during the week I'm not here, so Karolene is
so you got the real job. We've got the unreal job, so
yeah.
we got the hard one.
So yeah, no, we've started about a year ago. It's literally now about June, about a year ago, where we've opened up. We originally wanted to do a little flat and let someone stay permanently on a monthly basis, and we decided we don't want all that traffic in and out every day from noise and dogs and things like that. And we decided
and what if you don't get on with the tenant?
That's the thing, and it's like a month notice and this and that. And a bit of my background is I used to be in tourism. I'm still back now in tourism, but a little bit more behind the scenes. So I used to do a lot of tours, and eventually decided just one day, heck, why don't we just start this place up? We've got the stuff. It's go off the beaten track and not have a fancy hotel that's just got white linen and everything must be polished to shine more than shining. And voila, that's how we started. And we originally started on, I think it's actually the Valley Fest. That was the first time held here last year. And we had the first lady here. We were too amped that we've got the first guest coming in, and from there the
it's
result,
so exciting, isn't it?
the results we got from this, we thought like, sure, are you gonna really go into the place like this? It's like, yes man, there's this squeaking here, it's like loose bolt there, it's like, are you going to feel comfortable or what? But the results we got from these clients as we had these guests, it was amazing. The experience, they loved it. And they came in the winter time, which is obviously our coldest time of the year as well in Heidelberg.
Oh, we know that. Don't worry, it's the coldest time of the year in Gauteng, so let's not go there, shall we?
Yeah, no, so eventually it kicked off very well, and then we bombarded it. We stayed on this one shack, the Wild Pear Shack with the name, for a good 3 or 4 months. And then we started thinking, let's create a second one, because the demand was there. We literally got bombarded with contractors coming in for like a week. With the maximum guys, I think we had a 3-week stay at one stage as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then the word has spread, and obviously all these wedding venues around the corners as well have been quite good for us. Fellow travelers, also guys coming from Durban that they've got some business in Joburg, but they want to come and stay a little bit out of town again, going home. Fantastic. And yeah, that's why we decided to create a second one. And there it is. The second one we call Shack the Romantic, because it's going to be something different. As you saw already, I'm sure your video will show it as well. It's fancy. We call it fancy, warm, old. I mean, there's pressed ceilings in there, which we sourced as well. The bathroom with the zinc, ideal. It's a shack setup. It looks shacky, and that's what we want to do. We offer totally something different. It's not a hotel, so don't expect a 5-star butler. It's going to come running out here. It's all it is literally relax, make your fire, listen to the sounds. Even as we're sitting here now, there's no noise here. Every now and then we'll hear a kid. We've got some neighbors that's got children, a little bit of screaming like kids do, but that's it. It's peaceful, it's rustic, that's what it is. And I mean, we've over the past year we've done so many changes and stuff. The parking lot has changed drastically, and yeah, that's what I can tell you really about us. We developing as we go, we're progressing. The Wild Pear Shack has now got it's a gas geysers. It's got solar lights as well as normal electricity as well.
And you've got borehole, you were telling me?
We've got borehole in the back here, so water's not a problem in Heidelberg, or for us at least as well. We've got borehole water running here.
So tell me the history behind the Rensburg piece of property. You were
Yeah,
talking about that earlier.
so Rensburg was named after Van Rensburg. And he was basically a boer in those days, in the Volksrust. He was one of the high guys in the Volksrust here at Heidelberg. And the local boer people found him to be a traitor, because he was working now with the Brits, or the English, the British.
The redcoats.
The redcoats, exactly that. And on his dying bed, basically he donated a land, a plot called O Houtkraal. And that now has been renamed to Rensburgsdorp. It used to be separated from Heidelberg itself, and they used to have its own mayor, its own post office, which
You say still exists?
this post office is still in
Goodness
existence.
me, and where do they get their posts from? Because clearly not from Joburg. Because Witpoor's long a time ago closed.
Yeah, no. Well, it's still there. I mean, you can still go and get your sassel there at least. I don't know if the post will get delivered here, but those vehicle licensing you won't get here as well. There's always the issue as well. But it's still operational. I mean, the main one in Heidelberg closed down, and the one in Rensburg, which is a smaller town, it's not really a town. I mean, there's a basic shop. So we've got a little spa up the road. Yeah, obviously your liquor stores, your Chinese, Pakistani shoppy, and a little cafe
But you're
up
not
the
that
road.
far out of Heidelberg anyway.
Not at all.
You're a couple of kilometers, because we noticed we were at the Heidelberg Club where we learned that snails come from the sea.
Yes.
Because on their menu it said from the ocean, snails, and I thought, I always thought snails came from my garden. So I thought that was quite fun. And when we left there and came here, I think it said it was 10 kilometers or so, and it was a few minutes.
No, it's even much less than that. I
So-
mean, there's a few roads you can take to get to part
Absolutely.
of town.
We just followed the GPS as such. So we're very happy to see you went that far. I don't know where the ghost tour is starting tonight. I think it's starting at the railway, and maybe they start there.
Yeah, the old jail, the old coal.
Oh, the
I'm not
old
sure.
jail,
I
that's
think it's
right.
the old
Easy
coal
City
up there.
Link.
Yeah, it's up the old
Are you joining
coal,
us?
Unfortunately, we are not. We've got the kids up here, and we need to look after the kids as well. So
Of course, there's families.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
the
get
thing,
the family
yes.
and you get the guests.
That's the thing. So I mean, that's it. So yeah, we interact with the guests as well, whenever we can. Every now and then, you'll get someone that's really opening up, and they want to have a fire and just have a beer.
Absolutely.
Talk to someone local. I mean.
And you obviously both speak English and Afrikaans.
Yeah, Afrikaans.
So it's always a great thing, because
that's
I'm
it.
also bilingual.
Yeah.
So when somebody phones me, we have a chat in Afrikaans, and
That's
they
it.
always say, "Are you English?" And I go, "Yep, my kitchen Afrikaans gave me away."
Yeah, no.
But I think hospitality in this country is changing. It's changing to where the Airbnb, which I think it's got a lot of issues, because when we had our own flat in Margate, we started having issues with Airbnb.
Okay.
They don't do checks. They don't.
Yes.
I mean, you're just letting some random stranger into your home. And, they also started with if you don't have a booking on your Airbnb calendar, they can just send somebody, even if your calendar is with, for instance, Knightsbridge or one of those. So we ended up cancelling our contract with them. And we're finding more and more people like yourselves are moving away, like from Booking.com and places like that, because that money just leaves the country anyway.
Yeah.
And you pay something like 35% when somebody may as well put you on Facebook, may as well do your own advertising,
I mean,
and you do so much better.
And we do. We when we started off, we joined Booking.com, because that was everyone knows. When I used to travel overseas as well, Booking.com guaranteed. There's not going to be some phony behind it. It's through Booking.com.
Correct.
And that's what we did. So we're still on Booking.com, and it's working for us. Yeah, you pay a lot of commission. We eventually then joined over to Lekker Slop.
We loved Lekker Slop, and there was an English version to that as well, and I can't remember what it was called, but we enjoyed them.
Yeah.
They were easy to talk to. They were a phone call away.
Yes.
When I phoned them, a human being answered.
That's it.
That's what I enjoyed about working with them. So we kept our relationship with them in AfriStay.
Absolutely. AfriStay was the other one. That's something we haven't gone on. We're on Airbnb, Booking.com, Lekker Slop. We've got our own website as well, which is www.theshackloft.co.za. And we don't really take bookings through there. Not yet. There's not a system to do that, because we're not going through Knightsbridge. We're still running everything individually. We're still small. So
let me tell you, we had one flat in Margate.
Yeah.
And I had to go on to Knightsbridge eventually, because I used to sit there and book somebody in and think, was that the night before or the day after?
Yeah.
Was it the next night or the night before? So eventually we said, you know what? If I'm on Knightsbridge, I can tell how many nights.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I say, we've been fortunate now. I've done our calculations already, the bookkeeping, all of that, and it's literally now about 230 nights is sold out since we opened up. So, and it's been brilliant for us. We really not.
And you're Heidelberg, known as Heidelberg Gauteng, not
Yeah.
Heidelberg Cape, because I know there's two
that's the
Heidelbergs.
thing.
And I bet you've got people booking with you and thinking you're in the Cape.
We do. I had to go and change the address. It's clearly stated Gauteng, not. And whenever I've got someone that sounds like it's like what was that? A train. So whenever we've got a booking that sounds like, and this guy, for instance, we had a guy now, a couple from Jeffreys Bay, and I thought, you're going to go to Heidelberg And
it's like a
are you
one-night stay.
Yeah, no, well, this was, it was a 2-night stay. Like, yes, you're going to travel so far. I just double checked these guys as well to say, listen, there's the one in Gauteng, not the one down there in the Western Cape. I said, yeah, no, definitely. Got some family up here. We Googled, researched you, loved your photos as well. We want to come and check it out. And so, yeah, you do. I mean, I don't know, not even that. Heidelberg in Germany as well.
Oh, as well. So you got, my goodness.
Airbnb a few times. Airbnb. We had a couple, a family actually, 4, that over Christmas, December now last year, they wanted to come to Heidelberg. So we were amped because that would have been our first Airbnb clients, right? Going forward, going crazy, loved it. I thought, but let me check, because eventually they send you the details, and that's like a plus odd number. And like, well, this is not even like Botswana or maybe this is somewhere else. Started Googling this and started messaging back and say, listen, just to double check, I don't want you guys to get into trouble, run to Germany, Heidelberg, and not have a place to stay. I told them, listen, it's Gauteng, South Africa. Okay, and it's like, oh, immediately, sorry, so sorry, what do we do? Cancel, whatever. I'm so sorry. I said, no problem, don't worry. Look, it's an honest mistake, don't worry. You do your setup through Airbnb, get your bucks back. At least we know as well at your Christmas time was you have a place to stay. You're not going to get a surprise at the airport and like, oh goodness, this place is in South Africa. It's like, ooh, you landed in the wrong country, man. But other than that, we haven't had too many challenges, eh? It's
how do people
fun.
find you? On Airbnb, obviously, booking.com,
and obviously Google.
The Shack Life, easiest way.
Yeah, and obviously Google.
Conversing with you was simple. It was WhatsApp.
Yes, quick.
So
yeah, we're quite
that
responsive.
was a great deal.
Yeah, we're quite responsive on it as well, and no, that's basically the setup. And the nice thing about Google as well, if you Google us now or Google accommodation Heidelberg, it pops up little things, and we are there. It's literally clearly written to Shack Life. So,
and your telephone number?
065 604 2698.
South Africa, Heidelberg, Gauteng, South Africa.
On the south side of the largest nature reserve. So, but yeah, no, that's it. And obviously the house as well. So as mentioned, Rensburg is one of the oldest suburbs we've got here. And the house itself, we don't really take our guests into the house. It's our own privacy, of course. But it's a house that's been built in 1905. So it's got a lot of history. Wow. I mean, even the borehole we're running in the back here, it's not a 40-meter down borehole. It's 7.5 meters down deep. Because it used to be just a hand pump pumping the water.
Can you imagine doing that? That would have been great. I think you'd be divorced by now.
I would have been like Popeye up here by now, not divorced. But no, so, and that's it. We love staying here. For us, again, as you saw.
And I presume you're from Heidelberg?
So Karolene was in Heidelberg. She's born.
So you were born and bred here.
Yeah. I kept trying to leave, but kept coming back.
Yeah, you are.
No. Karolene herself has been overseas as well.
And where are you from?
So I was born and bred in Johannesburg.
Ah, well, you're still close.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could have said the Cape or
No goodness. I mean, I stayed down there. I grew up there. Moved around Johannesburg a bit with family and mothers and fathers or whatever there. And then, like I said, when I joined tourism, started traveling all over. And that's what I said. But I went back to the city life, normal office job, and I said, okay, this is kind of not the same as tourism anymore. It's not that freedom, not in different places. And I wanted to escape that, so I came to Heidelberg. And it was just 40 kilometers away from home.
Absolutely.
And I decided it's country living. And that's why I fell in love with the place. Been here now, I think it's now 4 or 5 years that I've been staying here.
And the plan moving forward is obviously to create some kind of food system. I presume you have Uber Eats or Mr. Delivery.
Yeah,
do you guys have that in Heidelberg? Because I'm never sure.
Yeah, there's a Mr. Delivery and Checkers as well. It's got that 60 minutes.
The 60 minutes, because I've noticed the trend even in Sandton. The Sandton hotels, the trend is to start going with Uber Eats and people can order whatever they want. Because running kitchens just adds to the cost of the hotel and the rooms.
And legality issues as well. With hygienes, you need to go and get all those things registered and checked out by
somebody
you don't. Yeah, exactly. When we're so small, I had a surprise call from the Department of Labour. And they were just giving random numbers to phone up to say and to go and check it out. And got a call from this guy, and his name is Jabulani. And I said, yeah, but we don't employ anyone. We're so small. We're not even. We are running it. We are running it. So explained it to him. He wanted to come through. He took a drive around here as well. Apparently, he phoned me back and said he did his research and said, yeah, no, sure, we can see it's not.
It's hardly like you're running a hotel with
exactly. That's just so. But yeah, we just. We're small, so yeah, the plans here, I mean, we don't want to get into cooking and things like that. just adds extra unnecessaries. You know, it's nice to get someone in, hand you the key, do your business. You know, there's a lovely braai set up there. And like I said as well, the Shack Romantic, we're busy transforming now into a self-catering use. So not just can you braai now, you can have your own little gas pots there. And you can end a little jacuzzi. I reckon by summertime coming up now, jacuzzi is going to be there. So lovely. And then obviously winter time next year, it's going to be a hot tub. So all of the plans are there.
Oh, but of course,
so
if you're doing stuff yourself, it always takes a while. I know this.
Yeah.
So we had a flat in Margate, and Keith and I redid it ourselves. We knew what we wanted, and we knew how to restock it, and we knew what to do with it. And that was us.
That's it.
So we did it ourselves, and you know what? It worked. And every time something, luckily we were in as part of a resort, so when something broke, but in Margate they ran out of water.
My goodness me.
So we had challenges that we couldn't control. There were challenges we couldn't have a handle on.
No, it's the same. Obviously, we can't do everything. So electricians, we have electricians and stuff like that.
You've done well.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. But the plans are growing up. Definitely, we can see ourselves within the next year opening up a third unit as well.
Nice.
And we can't give you too much detail on that just yet. We've got 2 or 3 ideas. So it's going to be also a quirky kind of room. The setup is different setups, different rooms. It's not going to be the same. It's not a hotel. You're not going to get exactly the same. So I mean, we're talking about gypsy wagons. We're talking about a tree house. You have to
go to the Poor Tracker Monument, because there they've got a living lager, and they actually have the ox wagon, so you can sleep in the ox wagon.
Fantastic.
A really nice idea as well. It was kind of just that's how it feels if you went as part of a lager. So if you haven't been to the Poor Tracker Monument lately, you must go. They've revamped it. It's been redone. The historical side, the tour guides are amazing. They tell the history the way it was. They've got the living lager with the baked bread.
Yes. I think it's a good idea. There was someone on Facebook. I'm following this Voortrekker Monumenten group or something.
Yeah, it's called Vrienden of Voortrekker Monument.
Something like that. One of those guys. They actually did now recently like the ox wagon trail. And it's like 3 or 4 days pretending that you were a boer in like the old days, just follow the oxen and camp of whoever it was, and you even had to dress in.
Well, after I went a couple of times. I eventually did a story called a Voortrekker Woman. A day in the life of a Voortrekker woman. And I woke up in the morning and I was part of Dingaan when Peach was killed. That was the day that I talked about her until the time that she was killed with her kids, and because 129 women and children were killed that day. But the story is so interesting because you could weave it into the story that I was telling of her coming from England and now being a Voortrekker. Those chicks had it hard. I swear. I don't know if I could have lived through those days. I just thought, geez, because I did a whole lot of research on what it was like to be a Voortrekker woman, and I must tell you, I wouldn't have.
I think it's hard. We live now in luxury and modern world. I mean, technology, everything is here. Touch of a button, everything is these days are here.
And in fact, because it's on the magazine, that's a flip book, I have the sound of the ox wagons and the horses going through the mountains as a background while you're reading it, so you kind of get to live what it was like.
No, that's it.
But thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us. I think it's been great. I'm Janine, and I'm at the Shack Life in Heidelberg, Gauteng, South Africa.
That's the one.
And I'm Janine from Life is a Beach.
All right.